All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another installment of Jawbreaker, associated with the Sports Mark Analyst. My name is Adam. That guy's Roman. I always forget which side you pop up on. And we're here to talk about UFC 248 coming up this weekend in Las Vegas. Um, Second straight pay-per-view with two title fights. Um, Headlined by the strawweight title, well, co-main strawweight title, main event, middleweight title. So big fights, really exciting. Just about a lot of the fights on this card could potentially be, fight of the night contenders. It's actually a very exciting card. So, all right, we'll jump right into it. First fight, give a little prediction for is Li Jing Liang. I practiced that against Neil Magny in the welterweight division. So how do you see this going down?
I think it's gonna be a very good fight. We're gonna see if Magny's gonna want to keep it on the feet or go for a takedown if he feels he's in danger. We know that Jing Liang is a very good striker. He's 9-3 in the UFC. He's on the 3-fight win streak. In his 17, he has 17 wins. Just 5 of them went to decision and only was submitted once, and he was never KO'd. And then you have Neil Magny, who's 14-6 in the UFC. He's coming off a loss, and he hasn't fought since November 2018. Sorry, but he does have credible wins over Carlos Condit, Johnny Hendricks, Hector Lombard, Kelvin Gastelum. So with Magny, you can't really count him out, but I feel like Jing Liang is going to put on the pressure on him, and I see second round KO. Jing Liang will beat Magny.
Yeah, Liang has he's been pretty exciting lately. Again, those last couple of fights, those finishes in the last couple of fights. Yeah, big pressure guy. He's got some power. Magny, like you said, he hasn't fought, which it's funny because I remember when I was looking at this fight, I'm like, I don't remember hearing Magny's name for a while. And yeah, he hasn't fought since November 2018, like you were saying. So you also have to take into effect that maybe ring rust could come into play, being out that while. Um, yeah, I think if Magny's gonna get some positive moves in the fight. He should try to keep a distance. Don't let Liang charge right at him and hit him with some clean shots, because if he hits him, he could very well go down. Um, I agree. I think Liang's gonna put some pressure on him, hit him, and actually, yeah, I say the same. I think they'll take him out in the second round. All right, so next fight, third fight on the main card, Beneil Dariush against Drakkar Klose in the lightweight division. How do you see this going down, Roman?
So both these fighters are on a 3-fight win streak, so this makes it into a more entertaining fight to see who's gonna continue their win streak. Dariush, he's 11-4-1 in the UFC. He's an exciting fighter. He has great coaches. Trains with Master Cordero, and I see him testing Klose on the ground. He's gonna probably try to take him down and look for some submissions down there. Klose, on the other hand, he's 5-1 in the UFC. He is looking to get his first finish in the UFC. All his fights went to a decision. It's going to be a tough test. I do see Dariush testing out the striking with Klose, but mainly he's going to take him down. And I want to say third round submission by Dariush.
Yeah, I think Dariush just does just about everything better than Klose. He's a pretty established veteran. The only thing maybe that he doesn't have going for him so much is his chin isn't the greatest. But he may not have to worry about it so much because, like you said, I think he will try to maybe grapple and get him to the ground. Although at the same time, Close could have a slight advantage in wrestling. But if he does choose to take him down, I mean, it's so dangerous against Dariush. Like you were saying, both these guys, they're known to go to decisions. So I think I would expect this one to also go to decision. Unless Dariush could pull off a nice submission, which is very possible. But I'm gonna, I think I'll play it safe. I think Dariush is gonna get the decision, also. All right. Next, our first title fight of the night. We have the champ, Zhang Weili, the strawweight champ of the world, up against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. What's going on here?
All right. So you have Weili, she's young in the UFC. She's 4-0 in the UFC, already a champion. Not trying to discredit that division, that there wasn't that many contenders at that time, but in her fourth fight, she did get the title shot, won in 42 seconds over Jessica Andrade. Some said that it could have been because of her weight cut. That's why she didn't look the same, but I don't want to take anything away from Weili on that. She's on a 20-fight win streak overall. After in her first professional fight, she lost, and then from there on, 20-0. She has 10 knockouts, 7 submissions, and 3 decisions in her career. While you have Joanna, who's 10-3 in the UFC. She started out 8-0 in her third fight in the UFC, won the title. She defended it 5 times, and all her losses, 3 losses, basically came in the title fights. 2 against Rose and 1 against Valentina Shevchenko when she tried to move up to test her. And she's coming off a win over Michelle Waterson. Saw some improvements there. Her weight cut seemed a lot better. She didn't look depleted. After that, cardio was good. But this is going to be an interesting striking fight. You're going to see Weili mixing it up with the kicks, looking from the counter. You're going to have Joanna. You're going to see Joanna trying to do short attacks, short kicks, throwing some combos at her. But I think Weili is going to put on the pressure and try to test Joanna with her cardio and try to make Joanna think really fast. I'm gonna go with the upset here. I'm gonna pick Weili 4th round TKO over Joanna.
Yeah, this was. I've been going back and forth with who I think is gonna win this, because I mean this could definitely potentially be fight of the night right here. I mean, you've got Zhang Weili, who I think she's on a 20-fight winning streak.
Yeah.
Right, which is nuts. And yeah, ever since she's been in the UFC, she's been looking like unstoppable. She's just she charges at you like a bull, and she's got really good power, great pressure. One thing I think could be a problem with her, but looking by the way she trains and all, maybe not, is that Joanna does have the championship round experience, going the 5 rounds. And if it does go into those championship rounds, maybe Joanna could have an advantage. Now, if Joanna's gonna get the win, she's got to do what she does best. A lot of volume in her strikes. She puts together good combos. She usually moves pretty well after she gets some strikes off. But she wants to make sure she gets away. I don't think it'd be a good idea to get into an exchange and a brawl with Wei Lang. Sorry, I'm getting her name right. And because she has so much power. So if they're going punch for punch, let's say, yeah, I can't imagine Joanna coming out getting the win that way. Um, so, and for Zhang Wei Lang, I think, like I was saying, I mean, she just has to keep the pressure on. Um, make hopefully, she doesn't gas out though, so she's prepared for a 5-round fight. And if she can, I think one of the better things that would work for her, even though they're both pretty good in the clinch. Um, I think if she can get a hold of Joanna and get her up against the fence in the clinch, she does really well from that position. Um, yeah, I definitely I can't imagine this fight going to the ground at all, unless someone's in trouble. Um, but yeah, I'm expecting it could potentially be an all-out war. As I'm talking about, I'm still going back and forth with my prediction. I'm actually, and on top of that, before I make the prediction, Joanna has like, I was listening to some interviews and reports earlier, and Joanna really has she she's got some real pressure on her in this fight
Yes.
because yeah, if you think about it, if she doesn't win, I mean, when's going to be her next shot? And it's not even like she could just move weight classes because she just did that. Literally just did that. Um, she could be in a bad situation. I remember hearing, I don't know if it was Ariel said or Mark Monday, but somebody was saying that, say Joanna loses and there's a potential that who is Andrade fighting anyone?
Andrade is fighting Rose.
She's fighting Rose, right?
Yes, coming up
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a month
right.
rematch.
Yeah. So yeah, say I mean, you got that coming up. Let's say hypothetically Rose gets the win, and then she fights for the title, and if she wins, I mean that's even worse. I mean that's like one of the worst case scenario for Joanna because I mean you're not going to see that fight again. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure on Joanna for this.
Well, also there's pressure on Wei Li too. I mean, she had to get moved. First, she went to Thailand, then they moved her to Abu Dhabi because of what's going on in China with the virus. So we're not sure if she did get the proper training too. So there is some added pressure on Wei Li on that aspect. So both of these fighters do have pressure, but with different reasons, of course.
Yeah, I mean she just seems Jean Wei Li, her work ethic just seems so great, so high that I'm sure she still got some really good training in. I mean, you saw I think in the first embedded episode, she still got in some good hard training. I think
Right.
like just on Monday, which is I remember thinking when I saw that like usually all that hard work is done the week before. By the time Monday comes around, you're pretty much just staying sharp, uh, light, but and I mean hopefully that for her that wouldn't come into play as far as gassing out, but she just seems like she has such a strong work ethic. I can't imagine it bothering her. Could potentially come to a very close decision. Whew. You know what? I'm gonna go with my gut. Could be very wrong, but I'm gonna take Joanna in a split decision win.
It's a good one. Split decision.
Yeah, yeah, I think it could potentially be one of those very close fights. We'll see.
Should pick a draw one time on one of these fights.
Yeah, but it's not realistic. You could do that, but then you're just like, oh, what
Unless
a
it's
douche.
boxing.
What a douchey thing to do. Yeah, boxing, yeah, more like that to happen. Yeah, this isn't boxing. Anytime, anytime a draw happens here, it's almost always like, how the hell is that a draw kind of thing. All right, so now we're up to the main event, the last fight on the card. Um, we have Israel Adesanya against Yoel Romero, and this is not a dance battle.
It could be a dance
It
battle
could be.
in some
It'd be
rounds.
cool. It'd be cool if, like, before it started, maybe they could do a little dance battle.
Yeah.
It is for the UFC middleweight title. Adesanya being the champion of his first title defense against Yoel Romero. What do you think is going to happen here?
So this fight is amazing for so many reasons. One, because Adesanya asked for this fight. He was supposed to fight Paulo Costa, but Paulo is injured right now. So Adesanya said, I want to fight the next best guy, which was Romero. And you got to give him a lot of credit because this is a very dangerous fight for Adesanya. Yeah, Romero might be 42 years old. He's going to be 43 in April. He is coming off a loss, but a very close loss to Costa. It was a great fight, fight of the night. Um, he's 9-3 in the UFC. He does have 13 wins, 11 of them by knockout. 2 only went by decision. My only issue with Yoel is he did miss weight twice, and both those times were during title fights. One against Whitaker when he did get the rematch, and then for the interim title when he fought Rockhold. When he beat Rockhold, he could have been the interim champion, but did not.
Funny enough, this is actually the first time he's fighting for it. As long as he makes weight.
Yes.
Let's hope he makes weight. This would be the first time he's actually fighting for a belt that he can win.
Yes.
The undisputed belt. So go ahead.
Yes. Well, he did fight for the interim belt against Whitaker the first time he made weight.
Right. Yeah. But I mean the undisputed belt. That's what I meant.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think he should make weight, even though they said he came in weighing in 198.
Yeah, he said he's 198.
198.
Which is, I think that's fine actually. That's perfect to be under 200.
I mean, the guy is built pure muscle. He's all steel, pretty much. But yeah, let's hope he does make weight, so there's no worries or people saying, "Oh, he wasn't fully prepared. He's drained," and yeah. And then you have Israel Adesanya, who's 7-0 in the UFC, 18-0 overall, 14 wins by knockout, and he started fighting the top level fighters in this third fight. They put him against Tavares, and after Brad Tavares, he just went on to beat the best guys like Anderson Silva. I mean, yeah, he was on his downfall, but when you fight a guy like Anderson Silva, it's a legend. And Israel does remind me of a new version of Anderson Silva with like the techniques that he uses with the dodging the kicks, the punches, just dancing in the ring, but being more smart about it, of course. I think it's going to be a really, really good fight. I mean, for Israel, he needs to make sure Yoel is always moving. You got to put the pressure on him. You can't have Romero against the cage resting and taking the shots and just resting and then hitting that counter on you. Israel is a counter puncher himself, but I feel like Israel's going to set up a lot of kicks. He's going to then land some combos on him. And I think by the fourth round, Israel is going to be tired. And I think I think Israel is going to finish it in the late fourth round.
All right. Yeah. Yoel, I think if he's going to be able to pull it off, he's got to, he's got to stay. He's got to put a little bit of pressure, but at the same time be very careful because Israel, is very, very good with his movement, along with his range. I think actually, I think what Yoel needs to do is actually maybe pick him apart a little bit, try to get some leg kicks, some body shots. I think working the body and the legs will probably work out best for him in this situation. And yeah, like you were saying, you definitely have to watch out for the counter because Israel is known for slipping something and countering very well. Also, yeah, I would say that it's a very good possibility that Yoel gets tired. It's kind of what's happened lately. I mean, you got to think even like his most recent losses, I mean, have been close fights. I mean, it's not like it's not like he was put away. He's really tough, especially for his age. Um, so I mean, I'm sure I would say he shouldn't. He's got to make sure he doesn't gas out. At the same time, even when he's tired, all he needs is one good shot, and he can always pull one out. He I think what he likes to do also is kind of like bait in his opponents. So it's almost like him getting tired can almost work as an advantage for him if he can act like he's tired. Can bring the fighter towards him, and he can try a counter of his own, or just spring out of nowhere. He can go from like barely moving to just exploding. Um, so it's obviously something that Adesanya really wants to be careful with. Now, as I was saying, he uses his distance and movement very well. Uh, he he wants to make sure that he's very patient and he doesn't chase Romero. Because if he does, then I mean it's better off that he just stays patient. And, if it takes, if he can't finish him, if he doesn't see the opening, just stay patient and just pick him apart. Because Romero, I mean, he is just extremely hard to finish. Now, so is Adesanya. He actually has taken some big shots, going 5 rounds. Um, we saw obviously the Gaston fight. I mean, he was getting hit pretty hard, but he could take a shot.
He get caught in the first round.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, with all that being said, um, I do think Adesanya is going to come out with a win. I don't know. It'd be nice to see if he can get a finish later on, late in the late rounds. But I just think Romero's so tough. Uh, he's not gonna go away. It's another situation where could be his last chance at a belt. Um,
In middleweight, yeah.
At
If he
middle,
decides to go up to 205, I think he should be at 205.
yeah,
But
yeah,
he doesn't want to fight John Jones. And they're good friends.
yeah. Just taking into account age and everything. Although that just doesn't seem to matter with him. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Israel for a decision, well, unanimous decision.
And I wanted to bring up two things. If you saw that they were making a deal of what was on Israel's hand, it almost looked like a staph infection.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it is staph. Maybe it's just some scratch or accident during camp.
it's hard to say. I mean, it didn't seem like he really wanted to talk about it much.
Right.
At the same time, you would think. I mean, you never know. I mean,
Well,
why would he? Why
then
would he
again,
make it visible?
Kevin Lee fought with staph on his chest against Tony Ferguson, so the
Yeah,
commission allowed that. But another thing I wanted to bring up, I was listening on Ariel's podcast recently that when Anthony Johnson was training for John Jones, they brought in Israel to be a sparring partner since he fit the dynamics of John Jones. And they were saying during the camp, Israel was piecing up Anthony Johnson pretty well. He was putting on the pressure and making Johnson look bad. And Anthony Johnson was getting very frustrated and kind of almost felt embarrassed that this guy is taking advantage of him and like out punching him. So it goes to show you that Israel could potentially be the guy that might go to 205 and challenge
yeah,
John Jones.
yeah. I mean, he has superstar written all over him. I think he's already a superstar. He's very marketable. He's entertaining. Yeah, I mean, he was such a great kickboxer that, like, a lot of people didn't know of him before he came into the UFC, but he was amazing. So, and it's funny is you would think like of these, the backgrounds of these two, or both he and Yoel, that you would get a kickboxer up against the background of Yoel, who's actually got a huge wrestling background,
Yep.
but he never uses it. He never.
Yeah.
I guess he just never wants to. He wants to bang. He wants to fight. Now, I mean, that's
This would
another
be
factor.
the perfect time to use
It
it.
would be a great time to use it. I mean, I know. I think Adesanya says, don't sleep on his ground game and all that. But if there's any time for Yoel to finally use his wrestling, yeah, this would be it. So if he finds himself in trouble, losing rounds, the first few rounds, towards the end, he might think about,
Yeah.
trying to get a takedown and do some groundwork. Now, at the same time, maybe he does avoid that because he is afraid he will get really gassed if it doesn't work out for him.
Well, Adesanya was tested by wrestling in his second fight by Venatori. He took him down a few times and was able to control Adesanya on the ground.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I can't imagine. I can't imagine him being better than Yoel
yeah,
round. So yeah, if he's, I'd say that'd be the smart thing to do. Um, I mean, don't get me wrong; it's very possible Yoel could just win it on his feet. He's explosive. He's got power. He's an animal. He just doesn't go away. Um, but yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see if Yoel actually does maybe try to wrestle a bit. It'd be different. All right, so that's it. It's the UFC 248 predictions preview. Um, yeah, everybody, thanks for watching. All right, we'll see you guys next time.